Hello and welcome to 18WJTS Informed. We're going to meet a candidate running for Dubois County Council, District number 3 on this edition. I'm your host, Bill Potter. Joining me in the studio is Charmian Klem. Charmian is a candidate running for Dubois County Council, and that is District 3. Charmian, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Bill. I really appreciate it.
We're glad to have you. Now, Charmian, first of all, let's find out who is Charmian Klem.
Well, I live in Brettsville with my husband, Barry. We've been married 14 years. And we have 3 small children. Nora, she's 9, Ty's 7, and Ada is 1. And I've just been in and around Dubois County my whole life. I grew up down in St. Henry, just across the Dubois County line in Spencer County. My parents are Jerry and Marcia Steckler. Gilbert and Mary Steckler are my grandparents from St. Henry. Bob and Jeannie Wagner from Ireland were my grandparents. And yeah, I married into the Klem family 14 years ago. Alan and Janice are my mother and father-in-law. And like I said, we live in Brettsville, and it's just a good place to be.
Okay, now, you are running for County Council District 3.
That's right.
And 2 questions I'm going to have for you here. One is, what's the difference between the council and the commissioners? And maybe the first question is, what is District 3? And only folks in District 3 will vote for you, right?
Right.
Okay.
There are 7 members on the county council. 3 of them are at-large candidates, and we all got the opportunity to vote for them and elect them 2 years ago. So every 4th year, there's the opportunity to vote for the district races. And at District 3, in this, the people that live in District 3, which is Columbia, Marion, Hall, Jefferson, Jackson, and Ferdinand townships. So all the way up from like Crystal, Hillham, Cuzco area, part of Dubois and that surrounding area, Celestine, Schnellville, St. Mark's and St. Anthony, and then Ferdinand and that surrounding area. That's District 3.
And then the difference between, and I think maybe I'm the only one that gets confused, but there's council and there's commissioners. I think sometimes people don't understand the different functions of both.
Right, right, and I can appreciate that. 5 years ago, I didn't really know much about the county government at all, and that might be embarrassing to say, but I think I was probably in the majority with a lot of the other people in Dubois County and just all over the country. But the county commissioners, they are more of like the executive branch of county government. I like to think of them as like the mayor of Dubois County, but it's a group. So they set policies, they appoint the department heads to the non-elected departments throughout the county, like the highway department, the health board does the health department, but some of those functions, hiring and firing, they are a part of a lot of that. The county council, on the other hand, it's just like a checks and balance. The county council, they are the financial board. No money, no tax money in the county can be spent without approval from the county council. So we set the budget, we set salaries. If there's additional appropriations, let's say a copy machine goes out in one of the courthouse offices, just all of a sudden, the money for that cannot be spent unless someone comes to the council and asks for approval of it. So most of the things are already approved through the budgeting process, which we do in August. So.
Okay, now you are in office.
I am.
Why do you want to continue being in office? Why did you decide to run? I'm going to run for re-election.
Okay, I just love that question. It's just been a good fit for our family. Whenever you go into something different, into political office, it can be kind of like, okay, you hear what people say about politicians. Do I want to join that group? And it's been such a good fit. The work that we've been doing as a council, we've got such a great group on the council right now. And it's just been so invigorating, the work that we've been doing. We started off, I call us the rookie class of 2014. Elmer Bramas, Becky Beckman, Craig Grolick, and myself were all elected that year. And we just set about doing some really incredible things. We did an employee satisfaction survey. We didn't get any surprising results from that, but we did get some results that we knew we thought we were going to have to work toward, with communication between the council commissioners and our county employees. Wages, most of the wages for our employees were pretty decent, but there were some people across the board who were doing very similar work who weren't getting paid the same. So that survey kind of jump-started us into starting a communications committee, a wage study committee. And for some reason, I became like the lead person on that. So it was very interesting, but we put in many, many hours to get that figured out. Comparing job descriptions and figuring out that, identifying which positions were not being paid, justly compared to their peers, and then compared that to industry and other governmental agencies throughout the state and county to try to get those employees up to where they should be paid. So that was one thing that I really, really was excited to be a part of. And I guess the reason for wanting to run again, to bring that full circle, is just to continue that good work that we've been doing. And I just have loved being a part of it.
Now, what are some issues, concerns that are going to be coming up in the future that if you're elected on the council again, that you feel you will be addressing or you think are important or need to be bring up?
The two biggest issues that are, facing us now is that one is the Mid-States Corridor. As a lot of people probably know, there is a public-private partnership that's being formed, the RDA. I can't even think of what it says.
Mid-States Corridor Group.
Yes. So that group, they're going to bring to the different governmental agencies between the state, the local level, and private business, how to get a road funded, a bypass road that extends Highway 231 all the way up through Dubois County. And so one thing that's going to be coming to the council is, will the county council help fund that environmental study? And how much will we pledge for that? So that's one big thing. And I would really urge my constituents to reach out to me because I don't know how to vote unless I hear from you. And I really want to be a voice for you in District 3. I've gotten so many mixed feedback from the people. I've been out and about meeting with constituents, and some people are really for it and some people are really against it. So I need to hear from you as far as how you would like to see the county council vote on that. I'm only one out of 7, but I want to represent you the way you want to be represented. And then the second major thing that's coming up to the county council is the jail. Something's going to have to be done there. We've been over capacity for quite some time now, and we've got a jail study, a justice committee that's working on figuring out what the right solution for that challenges. And so, how that affects the county council is we'll need to decide how much we're going to spend, where is it going to come from, and what I would like for the voters in District 3 to know is I will never vote to impose any kind of income tax or any tax that does not sunset. I think back when the original jail, the current jail was built, there was talk that would happen, but with the way that it was set up, it just didn't happen. The council, the county council wanted, they voted to rescind the income tax, but some of the other people who have a vote in that did not. So I just want to put that out there that if it's not in black and white with a date or a time that would sunset, I will never ever vote for that. So.
And you want to hear from folks about what they think is important in that way.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes.
Now, at this point, you're going to give you a final time to talk to your constituents and make your final plea.
Sure. Well, one thing that I didn't touch on is some of the qualifications that I have. I am just an extraordinarily hardworking person. Anybody that knows me would attest to that, I believe. I graduated from Heritage Hills High School in 1998, summa cum laude. I graduated from the University of Southern Indiana with a degree in German and math education with magna cum laude. So I'm very proud that I worked really hard to, keep good grades, my whole high school and college career. But as far as my work experience, I worked for Keith Hettinger at Classic Bulk Carriers, learned a lot about just the bookkeeping, accounts receivable, accounts payable, things like that. I work just for a very short time, very part-time for my dad over in St. Henry with Steckler Grass-Fed, his farm and cheese business, managing his accounts. And I have a Mary Kay business that I've had for 14 years, and I love it. I love servicing my customers and just building relationships with people. And that's one thing here at the county level is that, we've just been putting in a lot of time reaching out with the department heads, learning about their departments, keeping up on things, knowing what's coming, and I think that's very valuable. My opponent, I know that she's very, very qualified and would do a great job as well. But one thing that I really would like to impress upon people is it takes a lot of time to learn the ropes, I guess, to get the relationships built, to understand how things are funded and everything. And not that my opponent would not be able to do that. She's very capable and she would definitely do a great job. But I've already put in the legwork. I feel like it took a couple of years to kind of figure those things out. And I would like to continue with the momentum that we've got as a council, with the understanding and the background that we've built. So there are some things that I would like to pledge. And I try to keep them really simple. I pledge to attend all meetings, and I pledge to be available for your comments and concerns. Always reach out to me. I'm on Facebook. You can message me through Facebook. You can call me, 812-683-4265. You can look me up there. I'm on the county website, and I just can't say enough how much I like to talk to constituents and know what their feelings are. So please reach out to me. And my final pledge is to use common sense, to think about how would, if I were in anybody else's shoes, how would I want my tax dollars spent? And that's basically why I got into county government to begin with, just to use a common everyday person's perspective on how do we spend these tax dollars wisely. I like to think of the county council as almost a guard between government and the taxpayer. We ride a fine line between the needs of our employees and the needs of our community, but also safeguarding those tax dollars, because that's your hardworking dollars. Those are my family's hardworking dollars. That we're giving to the government, and I feel like that's my job to be like a gatekeeper there. So I just ask for your vote on November 6th. Early voting starts October 10th. There will be lots of opportunities to vote this fall. So I would sincerely appreciate your vote, and it's been an absolute pleasure serving the District 3.
All right, well, Charmian, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you. Appreciate it so much.
Charmian Klem, running for Dubois County Council District number 3, has been our guest on 18WJTS Informed. Thank you. Make sure that you go out and vote. We are local people watching local people, WJTS.